Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tosh Customs, and today we'll be looking at my custom Mezco MDX blade mods. These aren't really customed. I haven't done anything too crazy to them, but I think I've improved upon the original figure with some new paint jobs and adding and switching out some new parts. And so without further ado, we'll look at both versions of them. The red version is mine and the one that I'm keeping, and the silver one is actually for a customer and who I would consider a friend over the internet now. We've done a lot of business together, and he's helped me out, and I've helped him out a lot too, so it's been really cool. It's always fun to develop a friendship online and get to know someone, even though you haven't met them. But anyways, that's enough rambling. We're going to be looking at the silver one first, and so I'm going to remove the red one and take a look. Taking a look at the figure, there was a lot of issues I had with the original MBX blade, and a large one was that the vest did not have a lot of detail. If you own it, you can even look at pictures. Most of this vest is just sort of this plain gray. I don't have a before picture to show you right now, but I will be posting a before and after comparison on my Instagram. That's Tosh_customs. You can also find it probably in the description and definitely in the about page of this YouTube channel. But yeah, I didn't like the way the vest was. So for both figures, I've completely redone the vest. And so in this case, for this silver version of my blade mod, I wanted to keep it really clean and nice. And there are different paint apps between the two. Just throwing that out there now. It's not just like one has red and one doesn't. There's actually significant differences in the tones and colors I chose. But anyways, for both, I didn't like the way the vest was, so I washed this and sprayed it all down with a black gray to darken the whole vest up. And then all this carbon fiberish pattern is all done with gunmetal. It's very shiny and nice and metallic. The almost tribalish vampire tattoo patterning thing on his vest, it's all done in a gloss black, and that really brings out the detail, and that was something I was hoping was going to be in the original version, but Mezco didn't do that, so that's a shame. Since this is the silver version, I was finding ways to really accentuate the silver, and one of those ways is to put silver over a gloss black. And it doesn't really help the silver, but it highlights it. Gloss black has a very distinct tone, and so when you put silver next to it, it really sticks out, as you can see there. It's getting closer, you can see the detail there. Coming up to the shoulders here, they're done in a silver. I've outlined the armor in a silver, and then this is done in a flat black. So as you can see, there are definitely some tonal differences between it. And while from far away, it's sort of ignorable, you can just go some of it's black, some of it's gray. It really makes a difference. And I think because the black is framed within these silver lines, it really helps it stick out. Coming to the back of the figure, the silver lines run all the way back. These clips are done in gunmetal, and obviously all the little bolts are done in silver chrome. And then the extra lining here is done in a gloss black, and that's just to help it stick out more. Once again, that's sort of the theme. I'm running with this gloss black and silver along with some other gray and black tones just to help bring out the details. Moving down to the belt, not too much we changed. We made the triangles all silver, obviously once again, contrasted with that gloss black. The belt is gunmetal with a buckle of silver. Coming around to the side where he holds his little boomerang things, they almost remind me of like Predator's little smart discs. But anyways, I put some gloss that runs down the little engraving side of that sheath, and that just adds a little bit of a tonal difference. And then the rest of the sheath is also hit in a gunmetal in contrast to its plain gray before. And that just gives it a little, makes the case feel hard. I think when it's done in a plain black, the rubber, or black or gray, the rubber actually just looks like rubber. Putting gunmetal on it makes it feel a lot harder and more sturdy, which, it's not really about what the material is, but how it looks. Coming down to the legs here, the straps are done in that same flat matte black like they were on the straps up here. They're done with that. The little buckle pieces or clips are done in gunmetal, picked out with some more silver. And that obviously just runs all the way around. The pistol, I'm not going to pull the pistol. Oh, I will pull the pistol out. I take that back so you can see it. It's a little bit hard to pull out sometimes. I don't know why. But the pistol, I didn't do much to the pistol, but I did give its laser sight some red. The laser sight on the original figure, if you guys don't have it, is just silver. It's just silver on silver, and I think that's gross. So I put some red in there so that he actually looks like he has a laser sight. And it's a transparent red, and so it has a nice, you know, very lens, clear plastic maybe type look to it, which really just helps accentuate the details. That's really what all this mod is about, just to really bring out the details that already exist in, you know. And obviously Mezco, I don't blame him, doesn't have time to hand paint all these figures. Coming down to the boots. Oh, actually knee pads. I added knee pads. These are from the Marvel Legends Scourge figures or Paladin figures, any of them. They all have these. So I shaved them down and fitted them to the knees so that he has some extra padding there. And I think that helps bring it together. It seems a little lame if he just has pants and no armor to him. I don't know. Just doesn't make sense in my mind. So I added some knee pads, and those knee pads sit nicely, and I think they fit together with the aesthetic of the figure. But anyways, back to the boots. Gunmetal, I put gloss black on silver along these straps here. You know, the gloss black feels like it's hard, you know, it's a hard piece of plastic or metal, and so it brings the whole idea of the clips together. And then there's still some gloss black on chrome silver on the other side of those, I guess not like shin pads, boot pads, something like that. And then this is all done in gunmetal with silver highlights too. The boots, I didn't really need to do anything with the boots. The boots were good as is. I was really happy with them. I actually like how Mezco does their feet most of the time. I wish we could, this one also has a really good range of motion. Some of them don't. I was going to say I wish Mezco did all their boots like this, or all their feet in general. There's a wide range of motion here with these boots, and I really like it. It helps with the posability a lot. The real big difference, there's really big two differences. You know, all you've seen is really paint so far. There are two big things. One of them is paint related. The other one is actually parts related. We're going to do the parts related one first. I replaced the wrist pegs. If you guys have seen pictures of it, if you're familiar, there's normally a brown wrist peg that matches the arm skin tone. The only issue is if the little ball peg is brown, and then the glove is black, you know, look at where the glove cutoff is. It's almost like a very early glove cutoff right here at the beginning of the hand, which if you've ever worn a glove, gloves usually extend a little bit onto the wrist. When you cut it short, I think it looks really awkward, and I hated it. So I had some extra Mezco pegs laying around that fit with the hands, so I put those in, and then also added a little bit of a glove piece on either side, and that just makes the gloves feel more like gloves and not some weirdly cut off, you know, wrongly measured, you know, covering for his hand. So I like that. It's a fun little addition, and I think it really brings the look together. I didn't like the hands before, and I like the hands a lot better now. The other thing I did was also paint related, but I repainted the faces. So let me remove the glasses real quick. It's a very minor change, but when I got the figure, I really just felt that the heads were flat, in that the tone didn't have a lot of depth to it, and I think that's a general problem that plagues Mezco. So here's the original head. As you can see, it's lighter, but there's really no depth in the skin tone. It to me at least, it just looks really plasticky. The sculpt is good, but it's just very plastic. You know, skin doesn't look this uniform, and so just wasn't a big fan of it. So what I did was I got some leather brown and I dry brushed the skin, and I feel like that adds some pigmentation and depth to the head that it didn't have before, and you can really see it in there. A lot more depth to the skin tone because it's two-tone. And then with this enraged blade head, I also painted in the veins there, and I also painted under the eyes to make it a little bit darker. You know, I almost felt like it was his like feral vampire side coming out, and so I wanted to accentuate that with the veins and also sort of the way his eyes look. And then along with that, I also painted the veins in his arm, because if you have veins on your arm, it's going to stand out in some way or another. So I darkened those veins, and I also dry brushed the arms the same way I did the face, and so that everything is a little bit more uniform, and everything feels like it has a little bit more depth and detail to it. So that's the silver version. Moving that out of the way, we're going to come to the red version now. Also, I'm not showing the accessories or extra hands because I really didn't do anything with the hands or anything super important. And the accessories are all the same. Maybe there's tiny paint variations, but it's nothing showcase worthy. So coming to this body, you can see I put the classic blade head on this, and that's because I felt like the classic blade fits more of the black and red look, while a silver, sort of sleeker, almost speedier version of blade really deserves the shaved head. And that's just me. That's just sort of my design choices. So I wanted the classic head with this, and shout out to friend and customer on Instagram. I don't know if he wants his name shared or not, so I'm not going to say it, but he helped me secure this head, and so I really, really appreciate him for that. So looking at the red version now, there are some clear paint differences. We'll bring this one in. There are some clear paint differences. Just looking at the front, there's a lot more red in it. The red runs all the way back. We have red on the boots. I'll be talking about the different choices I made between the two. For a real quick comparison, though, you can see that this is a dark black, while this is a black gray, and obviously we have different, just a lot of different tones throughout the suit. For instance, the straps on this side are done with gunmetal and a black, just a flat black, while the ones here are a little bit lighter and done in a black gray. And I stuck with the black gray on these straps too, and the reason why was because I didn't want high contrast with the red. I didn't want, having too dark black and a ton of different other tones to clash with the red. I wanted the red to really be the highlight along with the gloss on his vest. While for this one, the silver is the highlight, and so the way to accentuate the silver is to make everything else darker, and so therefore we used darker straps and such to really make the silver pop more. So, that's some painting stuff for you, I guess. This little arm strap piece, this is from 112 shop. I got it from their Snake Eyes kit. I never made the Snake Eyes, I never planned to, I just sort of wanted the parts. So I put the little armband on there. I also gave him little elbow pads too, just to sort of fit the more heavier version of blade. You can see the red there, nothing crazy. It's just a really nice, clean metallic red. Instead of gloss on the black, this time it's a matte black. And so, once again, we don't need as much pop. We want to accentuate the red, and so that's why we have more of a toned down look along the armor. Coming down to here, I didn't repaint them. You'll notice that with these, the black is darker. This one is more of a black gray with some chrome silver highlights. These actually sit darker. Once again, I'm not trying to draw the eye to these, so I left them as is, fitting a little bit more with the pants. I have different knee pads. These are a little bit heavier knee pads. These are, I believe, from the Crazy Figures soldier toys. I just ordered them on Amazon. They came in from Hong Kong. So I'm not really too familiar with that line, but they're great knee pads for blade, so I put those on. Coming down to the boots, I dry brushed these with the black gray. Just the color tone is slightly different. I'm not sure if you can tell, but this one just looks a little bit dustier, while these boots are a little bit more shiny. I hit it with chrome. He's got silver dots and gunmetal. Or I said chrome, but it's chrome and then transparent red over the top. And then, same sort of treatment on the back. I also hit the pistol with red. So it's just little, it's just little tiny details. The pouches are slightly different. There's some gloss on these pouches while there's not gloss on those. So it's really just these little tiny details that make the figures stand out differently between each other. And I really like it. I feel like both fit the character well, and I can see Blade wearing both of them. So I'm really, really happy with how these turned out overall. The one other thing is I do have an alternate belt for this blade, and this is also from 112 shop. It's his classic blade. I just painted the pouches in with some red, or I got it unpainted, so I painted everything. but I got some red pouches in there that, you know, fit with the rest of the color scheme. And I really like this one, and I'll probably switch it out when I display it. I like it because the boomerang things are on the back. It seems a little weird to have these sitting on the sides in my mind, so I like the option for him to pull it out from behind him so that the belt is a little bit, you know, less jutting out on the hips. Yeah, and that's really the figure showcase. I hope you guys enjoyed it. These were really fun. It was cool just to work with the figure and to, in my mind, improve it, really. I think both of them are very representative of Blade, and I actually almost like the silver look more. I'm split. I like the red. Red is very vampiric. Silver is definitely sleeker, and like I said before, it feels a little bit faster almost. I don't know why that is, but the silver looks a lot cleaner and nicer than the red does. But anyways, those are my mods. I hope you guys enjoyed them. You know, maybe if you guys found inspiration from them, that's really awesome, and I'm glad, you know, you did, if you did. I mentioned it earlier, but I take more care of my Instagram channel than I do my YouTube page. So you should check out my Instagram. My handle is Tosh_customs. I post there, maybe not post, but I'm almost daily updating my story, so you get to see what I'm working on. I respond pretty fast through chats on there and stuff like that for messages, so I'm always happy to help you guys. I'm always happy to talk. I love interacting with y'all. So with that, thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. See you later.